Also a September 11th survivor. Only 200.
What I'm saying is that Kim Jong Un had someone say terrible things about Vice President Pence, terrible things about John Bolton, and then had someone threaten nuclear annihilation of the United States. President Trump didn't take that. What he did was he called off the summit. And he was widely criticized for it. And Kim Jong Un changed his position, said he was going to do denuclearization. Again, we don't have the conditions yet, but at least that's a big shift, and asked to have the meeting again. And that's what I mean by begging for it.
Okay, so thanks for taking the time for us. I just wanted to follow up. We heard your speech at the...
It is pointing out that the president is the stronger figure. And you're not going to have useful negotiations unless he accepts that. And my words don't matter. I'm not involved in the negotiations. But my comments as a citizen are very important. Thank you. In order to try to develop evidence against him, they've brought a number of very questionable cases. The prosecution of Mr. Manafort for things in 2005 that had nothing to do with President Trump. I can't imagine whether Mr. Manafort did something wrong or not. I can't judge, but I can say it has nothing to do with President Trump. Then these Russians that were indicted, who are never going to come to the United States, who played dirty tricks like dressing up as clowns. If that's Russian collusion, I don't know, maybe it is. But the real question is, there's not a single link to anybody in America. So what's that about if it isn't trying to formulate a case on the president when there's no evidence for it? A judge recently said that this investigation is more like investigating a man than a crime, because they don't have a crime. And that's why I say they're trying to frame him. Because if they had any sense, they would realize they're trying to put together a case on an innocent man. And that's what we call in America framing somebody. We're trying to purify institutions. I mean, you're just part of that whole media that wants to turn around and convict President Trump when he's done nothing wrong. And nobody wants to recognize that that's what these people are engaged in. Well, it's my job to defend a client. And if I have to take on an attorney general or an independent counsel, by God, I'll take them on. And I'm not the first lawyer to do that. When someone is unfairly prosecuting you, you have got to point that out loudly and clearly. This is an unfair investigation. It has no basis in fact. President Trump did not talk to, meet with, or have anything to do with Russians at any time during the 2016 election. That is a totally phony charge. And over a year and a half and $20 million later, they don't have a single piece of proof that he did. Now, if you aren't framing him, then stop the investigation, put out your report, and let the chips fall where they may. If they can show us some hard, incriminating facts from that evidence, then we would consider advising our client to be interviewed. But if we don't see it, then we have to conclude that we're not dealing with a fair-minded group of people. Not only did Mueller bring in heavy Democratic partisans to conduct the investigation of a Republican, he also is using the FBI agents who conducted the totally unfair, totally biased, in the other direction, investigation of Hillary Clinton. They should have used new agents, not agents that had conducted probably one of the most flawed investigations in American history. That's why you cut it off. You are a star.